Can you talk a little bit about just how you got into real estate and flipping, following the new kids' initial success?
Well, I grew up in a very historic neighborhood, and just always appreciated old houses. My dad was a contractor, so I would go to work with him after school and on weekends. And really, I think it was in my blood. And when New Kids ended in like 94, 95,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what am I gonna do with my life now? It's like 20, 24, 25 years old, and it's like my career's over. So a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to flip a house with him, and I had no clue what that was, what it meant. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And eventually started doing it with him and loved it, and just been doing it ever since.
And when the band did decide to get back together, I know you probably had to step away from this a little bit. Just what was that situation like?
Yeah, well, my business partners weren't too happy with me, but we worked it out, and
Yeah.
got that balance back, that I could take off on tour for 3 months and then come back and jump right in and get the projects finished up. So
And now for someone who, I know you've talked a bit about how you weren't always comfortable being in the public eye, there were anxiety, things that you have overcome since, but just how has that changed for you? And you've gotten to a point now where you're starring in your own show. Like,
I know, it's funny. Well, I mean, I still get nervous and shy in front of the camera. But it's been actually me and my husband did Amazing Race.
Yes, loved you guys on it.
And I did that, number one, because I love the show, but number two was a big reason that I was so afraid to do that. And somebody told me, you have to run towards your fears. And the more you run towards your fears, the less fearful they are.
Mm.
So me, I'm like, okay, the most fearful thing, I'm gonna be running around the world and maybe have to jump out of an airplane and all this stuff. So I was like, let's just do it. And I think that was a time that I was like, okay, I can do this. And I think that's when the race ended, and then I started thinking, oh, it's time for a TV show. So yeah, it's.
And I mean,
cool.
I'm guessing this idea kind of maybe started when you guys got your own house and started renovating the one in Massachusetts. Just,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you talk a little bit just about restoring your home with Harley and how that process is different than when you're doing it for someone else?
I mean, the process is the same. It's just when you're doing it for clients, it's because you have to really listen to what they want, and sometimes they may want something that you don't agree with, but you have to just make it the best possible. So you're excited about it, but it also functions for them, and they're excited about it. But yeah, me and Harley, we've been like habitual movers the last 4 years. We're on our fourth house now. So
oh wow.
Yeah, just moved into a house built in 1730, and I think this is the one. This is home.
How familiar are your clients with you when you show up? I mean, do they know that you're from this huge boy band, or?
Some know right off the bat. Some it takes a little while. They're like, I mean, I've gone to closings of houses that I've sold, and the wife will look at me. She's like, "You look so familiar." They always say, "Did I go to high school with you?" And I'm like, "Well, you might have." In some type of form,
right? You might have had my poster on your door, or
yeah.
And I loved watching you and Harley on The Amazing Race. I love that show, and you guys were fantastic on it. Is he going to show up on this series at all?
He was very reluctant, but I mean, he's done he'll make a cameo here and there. Put it that way.
Okay.
But no, he was like, babe, this is your baby. You go run with it.
When you are doing all these home designs and you're watching all these other shows, is there one trend out there right now that you're personally over, like that you don't want to see anymore?
Yes, that patterned cement tile. Like it's like a Moroccan feel to it. I mean, I think if you're gonna renovate your house, like painting and furniture can be swapped out, but you put a tile on your bathroom walls that is trendy, you're stuck with that unless you remodel it in 10 years. So
Right, unless you pull the walls down.
yeah, I think unless a client wants that trendy look, which a lot of them do, I try to stick to just more classic, plain, like just a plain white tile, and you can paint your cabinets, you can change hardware, you can do all that. So yeah, I think people need to be really careful with remodeling, that they don't get into the trendy stuff.
And have any of the other guys from the band come to you for advice ever when it's come to new homes?
Um, it's yeah, like a few of them have. Like, is this a good price? Is this a good, but what do you think the renovations are going to be? I know Danny Wood's daughters have been hounding me for the last 10 years to come down and redo their rooms. They want these big walk-in closets.
Of course. And I guess last question is, what is next for you guys going forward? You have this show. Who knows when touring and performances will start up again, but just, what maybe are you thinking about right now?
That's hard to say. I mean, we're really going day by day. Like, we had to cancel our show at Fenway Park. We had to cancel our cruise. We should be out touring this spring that we're not. So I don't know. It's just day by day,
Yeah. We'll see what happens when it happens.